Yesterday, the white plume rose above St. Peter's Basilica. So, in under 2 days, the cardinals of the Catholic Church elected Pope Leo XIV, formerly Cardinal Robert Prevost, swift, solemn, and steeped in tradition. And meanwhile, in England, the See of Canterbury remains embarrassingly vacant. 4 months since Justin Welby stepped down in shame, and 6 since he tendered his resignation, the Church of England has managed precisely nothing, unless you count forming 3 different, possibly non-compliant committees. The papal election process is paradoxically modern in its efficiency. Cardinals under 80 are locked in the Sistine Chapel, vote by ballot, and emerge with a name. It's secretive perhaps, but it works. The Vatican navigated a complex global church and a myriad of internal factions to deliver a successor in 16 days after Pope Francis died. In contrast, the Church of England, it hasn't finished choosing the people who will eventually choose Welby's successor. A third attempt is being made to form the Canterbury Vacancy in See Committee because the last round of elections were bungled, errors on the ballot, a misused voting system, and unfilled seats. One wonders if the Anglican Communion outsourced its processes to the Home Office. The situation is made graver still by the reason for Welby's departure, his failure to act on the abuse allegations surrounding John Smith. According to the Mackin Review, Welby could and should have reported Smith's conduct in 2013. He didn't. He offered apologies and then stepped aside, too late for the survivors. But instead of moral urgency propelling reform, we find ourselves in a procedural fog, and the Church has not even confirmed who is on the nominations commission, let alone who might lead it. The Archbishop of York, Stephen Cottrell, who himself admitted to safeguarding failures, is temporarily assuming Welby's duties, as he did yesterday. So much for accountability. The slowness here is not incidental, it's structural. The Crown Nominations Commission includes 17 voting members, from lay people to bishops to overseas Anglicans, are all operating under new rules designed to increase diversity, rules which ironically now prevent any male clergy from Canterbury standing. There are at least 3 different vacancy in See committees in legal limbo. And this is all before the Prime Minister is involved. After the CNC eventually agrees on a candidate, the name is passed to the Prime Minister, who then advises the King. Then there's the College of Canons, the legal confirmation, homage to the monarch, a seat in the Lords, and one day a crozier in Canterbury Cathedral. It's a process that privileges institutional appearance over urgency, bureaucracy over integrity, and opacity over discernment. And this is not mere inside football for ecclesiastical enthusiasts. The Archbishop of Canterbury is not just a symbolic leader. He, or potentially she, leads the Church of England, influences legislation from the Lord's spiritual, appoints bishops, and speaks to the moral state of the nation, conducts the big ecclesiastical royal affairs. And here in this vacuum, while congregations dwindle, while financial crises threaten rural parishes, while Generation Z turns increasingly to Catholic and Pentecostal alternatives, the Church of England remains rudderless. According to the Bible Society's survey, Anglican affiliation among the young has dropped to 20%. That's half the Catholic number, and it's little surprise when the attempt to replace the chief bigwig is so desultory. When Rome emits white smoke, we get little more than a passing wind, or wind passing, with a lot of bureaucratic shuffling. The delay is not about being thorough; it's about being institutionally paralysed. It reflects a church so racked by internal division over sexuality, doctrine, safeguarding, and power that it cannot even agree on how to agree. The papal conclave, for all its pomp, produces results. Canterbury's process, for all its democratic gestures, looks dangerously close to collapse. And this at a moment when the Church should be leading, not hiding behind legalistic obscurity or endlessly consulting about consultation. So, we really should be blunt. The comparison with the Vatican is damning. The Catholic Church, wrestling with its own scandals, moved faster, clearer, and more decisively than its English counterpart. And the Church of England, meanwhile, continues to look like a heritage society with a bishop problem. It doesn't need another working group. It needs a backbone. It needs transparency. And above all, it needs a new archbishop so that someone can actually do the jobs to represent the nation in the national church. And also to give guidance to the king and to the royal family. Maybe even take a trip across to California. There is a job to be done by the Archbishop. Justin Welby didn't do it, or didn't do it well, and the new person needs to get in order and get in line and get out there and start doing the job. I can't really speak about this, can I? Because I don't belong to the Anglican Church. But I look and I observe, and I despair quietly on the sidelines.